Peace. What's going on, family? Grand Rising. In this video, we're going to read about EHud, the man who was sent by the Most High to deliver Israel out of bondage. Okay, this is Judges chapter 3. We're going to start with verse 1. Okay, this is not the first time we were in slavery. This is not the first time we were in bondage. Okay, and you need to understand, we as a people need to understand that slavery is not just some people who grips you up and just makes you do stuff and whips you and beats you and make you know. Slavery is a system with a king, with a government, with workers, with police, okay, with a policy, okay? We have been in bondage many times other than this one. We're still in bondage. If you understand what slavery is, then you know for a fact that we're in slavery, okay? So we're going to start with Judges chapter 3, verse 1. These are the nations that the Lord left in order to test Israel, since the Israelites did not fight none of these in any of the wars with Canaan. Okay, so look. When we went into Israel, everybody didn't get killed. We killed some of them. Some died. Right? Some lived. Here we are, listen, this was to teach the future generations, these are the children, and the children who are not born yet. This is to teach the future generations of Israel how to fight in battle, especially those who had not ever fought before. Oh, why would God, what kind of God would do that, right? Our God. Okay? He wants to teach the Israelites how to fight. So you mean to tell me that God left nations alive just to teach Israel how to slaughter them? Yeah. To teach them how to fight? Yeah. People don't understand this about God. People don't know this about God because they don't know God. They know about other gods. They know about the devil. Okay? They don't even know about the nation of Israel. And if you think that it's those Jews over there, if you think that it's anybody running around with a little curly mustache, that is not a Hebrew Israelite. You know that it's not. They don't have the feel of one. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with some little curly, it's not. They will get tore up in war, and you know they will. You have them little puny behind dudes. They'll get tore up in war. The only thing that they're good at is deception and doing witchcraft and spells and sorcery. That's where they're pretty good. But they're not even that good. It's just that God made us ignorant. And so when you go to war with ignorant people, you can win on all, you can win. You can win, okay? These nations include the 5 rulers of the Philistines and all of the Canaanites, the Sidonians and the Hivites who lived in the Lebanese mountains from Mount Baal Hermon as far as the entrance of Hamath. The Lord left them to test Israel, to determine if they would keep the Lord's commandments that he had given their fathers through Moses. See, it's a test. People don't understand. The Most High will test you. He's using these people to test us. Listen, if it wasn't for that, those nations probably would have died a long time ago. The Most High said, I'm going to leave them alive to test Israel. Now hold on, because these are people who laugh. These people, they laugh, they joke, they have comedians, they're funny, they eat food, they like it, they know how to cook, they party, they dance. You know what I mean? They have children, they kiss them, they love them, they hug them. The baby laughs. Does that take away from the fact that these are people for us to prepare how to fight on? It doesn't. It does not. That's why they tell you don't read the Old Testament, only the new one. The new one's going to give you a happy outlook on everything. But let us read it for you, though. Listen, they don't want you to have an understanding of the Most High God. How can you get an understanding of God if you start in the middle of the book, where the New Testament starts, but you don't start at the beginning of the book? Genesis, genealogy, the beginning, the root of, right? How can you not get an understand? How can you say that you know when you don't have a general understanding of the whole entire book, right? They settled among the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. The Israelites took their daughters as wives for themselves and gave their own daughters to their sons, and worshiped their gods. We gave our daughters to the sons of these other nations, and they wound up worshiping their gods, okay? And our sons married the daughters of these other nations. We failed the test. The Most High was testing us, and we failed the test. Now, if I was back then at that time, and I'd be saying what I'm saying, our people would say that you're being racist. What are you talking about? All loving. Not only all loving, but in this day and age, they're saying all gender loving too. So you can be with a dude if you want to, of any race. You can be a black dude with a Chinese dude. Listen, we got so far gone. We left the laws. This is wicked. This is totally wicked. This is not opinion. This is not opinion based. This is truth. Back then, they would have said that you are being a hater. You're being a hater and you're being racist. Is that true? No, it's not. But as long as our people are doing these things, then we can be overcome by enemies. We can be taken captive. Okay? Listen. We sent our sons to go with their daughters and wound up worshiping their gods. The Israelites did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Okay, so you're a black dude who you got a white girlfriend, right? A lot of dudes don't like me for this. A lot of people don't like me for this, for what I'm saying. You are doing what is evil in the sight of the Lord. Okay, y'all had a child. The child is happy. It's beautiful. It laughs. Y'all joke. Y'all have fun. Y'all are in love. You're still doing what is evil in the sight of the Lord. Christmas was good this year. You ate good. The family got together and had a good time. You're still doing what was evil in the sight of the Lord. You received good gifts. You gave good gifts. People needed that, what you gave. I gave people what they needed. You still did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Okay? You don't play with people. When it comes to the Most High, when it comes to the word of the Most High, you don't play with people. There's slaughter coming behind this, destruction coming behind this. Let's continue to read. The Israelites did what was evil in the sight of the Lord by getting into these relationships. They fought the Lord, their God. They forgot the Lord, their God, and they worshiped the Baals and the Asherahs. What are the Baals and the Asherahs? Yo, that's when you simply take on the customs of these other nations. They worship, you don't see it as such, but they worship their Christmas trees. They worship their money. They worship their cars. They worship the Easter bunny and Halloween and all of these things. When you come out and you dress like zombies and you go out on the town with the children and you eat from strangers, and this is a regular thing annually, that happens annually. And if you say anything about it, truthful too. Like, yo, that's crazy. This is wicked. Oh, you're just being, listen, this is their customs. These are pagan customs. Whose culture is this? Whose culture really are we taking on where we can't see it for what it is? You see what I'm saying? It gets us in trouble. So we took on their gods and their Asherahs. The Lord's anger burned against Israel, and he told them the Most High sold us to the Cushan Rathaim king of Aram Naharim. And the Israelites served him for 8 years. So we went into captivity for 8 years, right? Sold into a wicked a policy. Okay? I hope you know what I'm saying. Policy. They're policing you, making you follow their laws. Since we gave up the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, now we have to follow their laws. Okay? Listen. The Israelites cried out to the Lord. So it must not have been that good. We started to cry out to the Lord. So the Lord raised up Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's youngest brother, as a deliverer to save the Israelites. The Most High raised him up as a deliverer to save the Israelites. So the Most High sent us into captivity, and he also raised up a deliverer to bring us out only when we what? Turn to the Most High. Not when one man turned to the Most High, not when two, when the Israelites started to cry out to the Most High, our God, then the Most High sent a deliverer. But nowadays, we don't know to cry out to our God. We cry out to their God for money. See what I'm saying? That's what they do. Yo, they're so tricky. See, but they study these scriptures. They study, and so they know how to trap us because they study history. So the Most High, he raised up Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's brother, as a deliverer to the Israelites. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel. Whoa. So the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel. When Israelites, we already had a king. Remember, he sold us into the hands of this king. But this man came up and he judged Israel. Now, how do you think that would go in this day and age? Jeremiah raised up. The Most High raised Jeremiah up, and he judged Israel. We were already under a king, right? And they laughed at him. They laughed him to scorn, right? Who are you? Oh, you got it all figured out, huh? Where does it say that at in the Bible? They said they did that to Moses. At a time when the scriptures had been tampered with, they did that to Moses. They said, find it in the Bible, Moses. Where is that at in the scriptures? These are pastors of Israel in Egypt. Where's it at in the Bible, Moses? Where does it say that at? How do you and Aaron come off saying that we need to do this when that's not even written? What are you talking about? Moses knew what he was talking about because the Most High spoke directly to him. Okay? And then Moses rewrote the scriptures. Listen, the Spirit of the Lord came to him, and he judged Israel. Othniel went out to, and I could be pronouncing these names wrong, but Othniel went out to battle, and the Lord handed over the Cushan Rishathaim king to Aram. The king of Aram to him. That Othniel overpowered the king. Then the land was peaceful for 40 years. Okay? So he did like a Nat Turner. He did like a Nat Turner move on the king. Nat Turner did what he did on the slave owners, the plantation owners. He did what he did to the king. Then the land was peaceful for 40 years. Hold on. And I'm going to say this again. Othniel did not deliver our people out of captivity with love, with loving our enemies. He did it with love. He did it with love for his people. Okay. They want to accuse you of hatred and hate speech. You do not get out of bondage by loving your enemy who hates you and seeks to destroy you biologically, chemically, socially, economically, okay, religiously. They want to take our God and give us a new one, to have us worshiping Baal and all of their customs, so that the Most High's anger can be hot against us. They created a satanic system that has us involved, that we are involved in, in school, we pledge allegiance to this satanic society, right? And it has us hating life. We don't want to wake up and go to work, and we do it, and then we brag on the internet about, look what I got. It's just a satanic life. It's a satanic policy that we're living under. And the Most High's reproach is forever on us. We sinned, and the Most High's anger was hot against us. And it wasn't until we cried out to the Lord that he sent someone to come and deliver us. Okay. Sitting around saying everything, breathing that air, everything is fine, everything is beautiful, everything is okay. The sun came up today. It's beautiful out. Everything's fine. You have a negative perception on life. See it better. The problem is you. It's with you. The problem is with you. It's not with the system. It's not with what's going on. It's with you and your outlook on things. That's a lie, okay? That is a lie. Okay, come on. We have to keep it 100 here. Listen, then the land was peaceful for 40 years. And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. He did what he came to do, and the man died. The Israelites, again, did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He gave, are you starting to see a pattern here? It's the same pattern keeps going on. The Most High, listen, we had Malcolm X. We had a lot of people back in the so-called civil rights time, and they died. Bob Marley died. A lot of them died. They all died. They died. And then our people in the 80s, they all died in the 60s and 70s. And in the 80s, our people was rapping hip hop and being ghetto and gangster and violent. Well, we were just talking peace and unity and buy black and own black and feed the community, feed the children, teach our own, reach our own. And then our leaders died off, man, and got replaced with gangsters. Fight the power. Yeah, but they were gangsters. They were thugged out. You know? Anyway, man, the Israelites did what was evil in the Lord's sight again. And he gave Eglon, the king of Moab, power over the Israelites, because they had done what is evil in the sight of the Lord. After Eglon convinced the Amorites and the Amalekites to join forces with him, he attacked and defeated Israel, and he took possession of the city of palms. The Israelites served Eglon, the king of Moab, for 18 years. Then the Israelites cried out to the Lord, and then he raised up Ehud, the son of Jerah, a left-handed Benjaminite, as a deliverer for them. Why does it point out the fact that he's left-handed? Whenever somebody's left-handed, it always points out that to you. Left-handed. There's something about a left-handed person. They think differently. A person who does a lot with their left hand, they think differently. They do things differently. They're different. Okay? I remember when the spirits told me like 6 years ago, they told me to stop using my right hand, to do everything with my left. They just told me that. Stop using your right, do everything with your left. Do everything with your left. And nearly broke my right hand, so to aid me to stop using it. The Israelites sent Ehud to Eglon, king of Moab, with tribute money. Okay, what is tribute money? Okay, they sent him with tribute money to the king. Tribute money is like rent. It's rent. It's rent. Like now they have each and every individual has to pay their own rent. But back then they called it tribute money. So the Hebrew Israelites would gather up a sum of money, and they would take it to the king, probably like monthly, as like rent. Tribute money is something that you pay when you are like bondage, enslaved to somebody, when you're in communion with them, or when you're paying homage or respect. But in our case, it was slave money. Okay, this was like extortion money. Pay me my money. You feel me? So we were paying rent. Ehud made himself a double-edged sword. It was 18 inches long, and he strapped it onto his right thigh underneath his clothes. Okay, so he had it strapped on his leg, a sword that he had made. And he brought the tribute money to Eglon, king of Moab, who was an extremely fat man. When Ehud had finished giving him the tribute money, he dismissed the people who had carried it. At the carved image near Gilgal, he returned and said, King Eglon, I have a secret message for you. The king called for silence, and all of his attendants left. Then Ehud walked up to the king while he was sitting alone in the room upstairs where it was cool. Ehud said, I have a word from God, and it's for you. And the king stood up from his throne, and Ehud reached with his left hand, and he took the sword out of his right thigh. So he reached with his left hand, and he took the sword from his right thigh, and he plunged it into Eglon's belly. Even the handle went in after the blade. He stabbed him so hard. King Eglon's fat closed in over the handle so that Ehud did not withdraw the sword from his belly. He left it. And Eglon's insides fell out. Ehud escaped by the way of he escaped by the way of porch. He went off to the porch, closing and locking the doors of the upstairs behind him. So he left the king in this room with the doors locked, and then he left. He probably jumped out the window off onto the porch and ran away. Ehud was gone when Eglon's servants came in. They looked and they found the doors of the upstairs room locked, and they thought that he was in there relieving himself in the cool room, just chilling alone. The servants waited until they became worried, and they saw that he still did not open the door. So they took a key and they opened the door, and there was their lord lying dead on the floor. Ehud escaped while the servants waited. His servants waited, and he crossed over to the Jordan near the carved images, and he reached Sirah. After he arrived, he sounded the ram's horn throughout the hill country of Ephraim. The Israelites came down with him from the hill country, and he became their leader. He told them, follow me, because the Lord has handed over your enemies. The Lord has handed us over. He has handed our enemies over to us. The Moabites has been handed over to you, Israel. So they followed him, and they captured the fords of the Jordan leading to Moab, and they did not allow anyone to cross over it. At that time, they struck down about 10,000 Moabites, all strong, and they were able-bodied men. They were strong and they worked out. You know what I mean? They killed 10,000 of them. Not one of them escaped. Moab became subject to Israel that day. And the land was peaceful for 80 years. We, the Hebrew Israelites, once again got free from bondage, and it happened this way. We were oppressed. We cried out to the Most High, our God. He raised up somebody to lead us, and they led us. Did they lead us peacefully? No. He waged war. He waged it. And then when he was done, after he began, he rallied up Israel. And then we together waged war and we won. And it happens time and time again. Why do you think that, see, we see people like Malcolm X as just a soft-spoken, very articulate man who cared about his people. They didn't see him. They don't see him the way that we saw him. You know why? Because this is the reason why. Because when the Most High raises up somebody in our midst, a slave in our midst, they see a potential leader. They see a threat. They see somebody who can lead our people to overthrow them in war. And that's why they accuse him of hate speech and accuse him of hating us. You don't hate us, do you? You don't hate us, do you? I mean, yeah. We did everything that we told you we did in the history books, and we did everything that you're saying that we did, but you don't hate us, do you? Sounds like you hate us. You don't hate us. No, it's not hate speech. No, it's not hate. We don't hate. No, we don't hate you. No. You see what I'm saying? Listen, EHud didn't do what he did for our people, loving these devils. That big old fat, charging us rent, charging us tribute to stay in their land under their oppression. Listen, it has to come to a stop at some point, and it's not going to come to a stop until we turn to the Most High, our God. I don't care what devil looks and says, oh, that doesn't sound so loving. Oh, we're watching his video, we're hearing you, and that doesn't sound so loving. Bro, man, are you serious? You feel me? We need to stop caring about that. I don't get paid to do these videos. I don't get paid. I can care. I don't care. I don't care. As long as my people get an opportunity to watch these videos and see truth, that's all that really matters. Feel truth. Seek truth. Know the truth. That's all that really matters. You can wipe the channel down. But as long as they had an opportunity to get a feel for what's real, man, that's all right. I'm okay with that. But kissing butt and speaking at this audible tone where everybody all across the world can accept it, like it, and enjoy, you're not going to get that out of me. You're never going to get that out of me, ever. As I was standing this morning looking out my window at two cats, well, I seen something. I don't know why. I seen a gray cat chilling, eating something, and I seen a black cat tiptoeing real quietly up behind it. Real quietly. And then the gray cat heard it anyway and looked, and the black cat stopped in its tracks and tried to stay still. I seen this whole thing. And then when the gray cat looked away, the black cat kept creeping. And so the gray cat walked away. And then the black cat stopped creeping and just act like everything was normal, whatever. He's gone. As I was watching that, EHud came into my mind. EHud. And I forgot who EHud was. So I looked up EHud, and now here I am reading this. But I had a lot on my mind these last few days. And it had to do with hate speech. And it had a lot to do with the deliverance of our people out of bondage. We will get free. Our people will turn to the Most High God of Israel, our God. Okay? We will get free. We will learn to stop loving our enemies unconditionally. You don't even love your son or daughter or your aunt or uncle or your mother or father unconditionally. When somebody pisses you off, you're pissed. It doesn't even make sense to love your oppressor unconditionally. While they're systematically turning us gay, while they're systematically pumping poisons into the babies, while they're systematically putting wickedness all over the screen. You know what I'm saying? While they're systematically they're pushing, making twerking go viral, and big soft sodomites dancing and acting gay after he bites into something. They're making it go viral. They're pushing it. At the same time, people who speak real and talk real and teach truth are being suppressed, fact checkers, and they're being terminated off the internet, and they're being shadow banned. This is an attack. They're waging war on us, electronically, physically, biologically. They killed Brother Khalid Abdul Muhammad. They killed all of our people. They killed them, bro. How come nobody cares? I don't understand. How come nobody cares? Listen, they locked up Dr. Sebi, and then he died. Hold on. They locked up Dr. Sebi, a healthy man. Open your mind. Forget these white folks. You open your black mind. They locked up Dr. Sebi for some BS. Locked him up for some BS. Oh, he was traveling with too much money on him, so we apprehended him for a while. No, you don't go to jail for that. No, you don't. No, you don't apprehend nobody for a while for no reason. That sounds like BS. And then in their custody, he dies. Then Laila Africa dies out of nowhere. Don't you realize it? Anybody who tries to help you gets their channel terminated. Anybody who tries to help you, clean up your act, even get your act together. Anybody who tries to get you to stop putting your faith in Jesus gets killed. Don't you don't get that yet? You don't get that. Anybody who tries to get you to stop worshiping their gods gets killed. Get you to stop trusting their schools and their medicines and their institutions gets killed. Persecuted. When the Most High said prepare for persecution, that doesn't mean that you're going to be doing something wrong when you get persecuted. You're going to be doing something right. So while everybody's waiting for Jesus to come, the Most High sent the Savior in Moses. The Most High sent the Savior in EHud. The Most High sent a Savior in, what's the brother's name? Othniel. The Most High sent the Savior in Othniel. Who else? Who's the other brother? Who's the other brother? I said, dang, they don't got nothing about him in the he's in Judges 2. He's in Judges 2. Do you remember his name? Starts with an E, I think. I forget his name. Listen, if you read Judges, you would find out of a lot of you find out about prophets that don't have their own story. They don't have their own, like Jeremiah had his own book. There's prophets. If you read Judges, there's prophets that don't have their own book. And the Most High sent them. Everybody's waiting for Jesus. Waiting for Jesus. The Most High said, why have you killed my messengers and prophets? There's many coming and going. Many. You're only looking for this one. You're looking for this one little white boy to show up. And there's many coming and going. Nobody cares. Read the scripture. You have to understand how the Most High works. When we cry, when we are sick and diseased, and we come out with too many fingers or too many less toes, or we got pneumonia, we're running around here. We don't like that. We be praying. Sickness and disease befalls us. And then somebody comes telling us, yo, stop eating that. Yo, don't drink that. Hey, don't. And then they die. And then they wind up dying. Somebody who says that I'm 80 years old, but I feel like I'm 20. How does he just die all of a sudden? That doesn't even make sense. But then Queen Elizabeth, she winds up living like 300 years. She outlives everybody. Queen Elizabeth outlived both my grandparents. Queen Elizabeth outlived Dr. Sebi, bro. Queen Elizabeth, she was here before Malcolm X was born, and the witch was here 50 years after he died. I repeat, Queen Elizabeth was here before Malcolm X was born, and she remained 50 years after the man was killed. I don't have no script to read off of. I can sit here and just speak it. You know I ain't lying. I don't expect devils to like what I'm saying. To the one person that hit the like button, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't expect too many people to watch this video because I'm shadow banned, and I damn sure don't expect too many people to like my video. But as a matter of fact, though, most people are sleeping. You know what they do? They wake up when everything is when it's getting real bad. They wake up when they just get so in tune. They come running to YouTube. They want answers when it appears that everybody might die. It's looking like the end of the world. Oh, we can't leave the house. You see what I'm saying? Oh, there's a disease going on. Then everybody runs to these Israelite channels and these Christian channels. But then as soon as everything kind of like goes away, the red alarm goes off, everybody goes right back to partying and living their best life. You don't have to like what I'm saying. I ain't lying. And as long as I'm not lying, I don't care if you like what I have to say. You don't have to like it at all. I'm not cut from the same cloth as you. I got love for EHud. They don't even want us to know who EHud is. They want you having love. We have love for big old fat TD Jakes and people like him. And what's that other singer? Now he be like, party people say. That Christian singer dude, he's running around her, little short dude running around her with lipstick on. What's his name? Kurt Franklin. Kurt Frank is running around here rocking pink lipstick, man. We all got a lot of love for him. They played us. You got to be real. You need to raise real people in your family. You need to raise your sons to be real. Because the real ones are getting exterminated. And there ain't nothing but sodomites coming up as our leaders, man. Soft-spoken weirdos as our leaders. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be swagged out. As our leaders. Cornball, what's his name? Fat Omar Johnson. Talking about I'm the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Man, you're a cornball. He ain't nobody, man. He's an agent is what he is. He is an agent, and I know that for a fact. I've been told this years ago he's an agent. So anyway, go read Judges chapter 3 for yourself. Let me get that apocrypha, please. Go read Judges chapter 3 for yourself. And read about EHud. Thank you. And Othniel. Now we're going to go to, and ain't that something? I wanted to go to First Maccabees, and all I did was just grab the book and opened it, and where does it take me at? First Maccabees. This big old book. I opened up straight to it. So let's get to it. Let's read a little bit of Maccabees. Okay? And then you're going to see why you need to read these stories for yourself. Here we go. First Maccabees chapter 1. It came to pass that after Alexander, the Macedonian, the son of Philip, who came out of the land of Chittim, and struck Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, it came to pass that after he had struck him, that he reigned on his stead in the former time over Greece. So now we're dealing with white folks. Okay, now we're dealing with these Greeks. You hear the names. King Alexander. And he fought many battles and won many strongholds, and he killed the kings of the earth. So when you watch that movie 300, you know that movie 300? Yeah, all those white dudes running around killing everybody. You can read about that in Maccabees. Okay? And he fought many battles and he won many strongholds. He killed the kings of the earth. And he went through to the ends of the earth and he took spoils of a multitude of nations. Okay, so you're wondering that as a child, you're probably not wondering, but as a child, they take you to a museum and you see artifacts, ancient artifacts from all over the earth. These are spoils of war. They have your children in school looking like, oh yeah, pass it around. They're spoils of war. These are stolen goods. Okay? Oh, this is from Egypt. They got this out of a pyramid 20,000 years ago. We're reading about it right here. It was murder. They went around killing, and it says that they took many spoils from all over the earth. Okay? Then they're showing it to your children and got you loving it and come on and praising them for the violence that they did. But then as soon as you start to say to your own people, yo, man, it ain't cool to be like that. Be a man, bro. Take the dress off. Hate speech, hate speech. They want to accuse you, little old you, for hate speech. But they'll send multitudes to go in glory at something that was acquired through hatred, slaughter, bloodbaths, no mercy. You get what I'm saying? Don't let these people play with you, man. Come here, live, be real, live your life the way you really should, and leave. Be real, though. Don't let nobody play with you. Don't let these devils play with you. And he gathered together an exceedingly strong army, and he ruled over countries and nations and I don't know how to say that, cities, and they became tributary to him. Tribes. Now we keep coming to this word tribe, tributary. We just was going to pay tribute to the king as slaves. That was rent. So they became tributary to him, meaning he became honorary to him. He ruled the world, bruh. This Greek dude. You need to look into these words. Tribunal. Look into these words. The Most High gave me the word tribune yesterday. That's why this is standing out to me so much. I'm like, tribune. I looked it up. What does it really, really mean? Tribune is somebody who stands for the political rights and for the human rights of his people. Period. He doesn't have to join politics to do it. Just learned that, yesterday. Now, after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he was going to die. And he called his servants, which were honorable, and he had been brought up from youth, and he divided to them his kingdom. You're going to run this place, you're going to run this place, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're in charge of this. While he was yet alive, he did this. And Alexander reigned for 12 years, and then he died. And his servants bare rule, each one in his place. Okay, so I don't really want to read all of this. I want to let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to chapter 2. In those days, rose up. We just heard that word rose up, didn't we? Where the Most High, or EHud, rose up as a servant of the Lord for our people, huh? The Most High rose him up. So Mattathias rose up. He was the son of John and the son of Simeon, who is the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jorib from Jerusalem. And he lived in Modin. And he had 5 sons. Mattathias had 5 sons. John, whose surname was Gaddis. Simon, who was called Thassi. Judas, who was called Maccabees. Eleazar, who was called Everon. And Jonathan, who was called Aphus. And he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah, in Jerusalem. Why? Because who was running Judah and Jerusalem at those times? It was, it was. It was these Greek, it was King Alexander's people, okay? And he said, woe to me. Why was I ever born to see this destruction of my people and the destruction of the holy city, Jerusalem, and to dwell there when it was given into the hand of the enemy, the sanctuary into the hand of aliens. Now, if our people did what was wicked before the Most High, and Jerusalem So Jerusalem was handed over to the hands of our enemies. Then what makes you think that with our people being so gay today, so gangster, so wicked, so conniving, so full of themselves in a day like today, we do have the Most High's reproach on us. So then what makes you think that Israel will not be handed over into the hands of some more white folks, some more devils? I mean, come on. I mean, let's keep it 100 here. Let's put it like this, because I'll let you drop your own conclusion whether or not they're devils. If we are being wicked right now today, as we were back then, and Jerusalem was handed over to some devils like Alexander, then what makes you think that in this day and age, with us being at an all-time wicked, that the land of Jerusalem will not be handed over to some people who looked like King Alexander and them? When you look over, those who claim to be Jew and are not are of the synagogue of Satan. Oh, they don't like it. They starting to leave. Listen, everybody can leave this chat. Everybody can leave this live. It could be 0 people in here, and I'm still going to do it. Leave. Get out of here. I don't care. This is not my opinion. This is not my opinion. I've been woke before all these people woke up and started calling themselves Starseed and Empress Divine and God and King. I was already woke years before they started doing that mess. And as a matter of fact, the Most High told me ahead of time that it was going to happen. He already told me that it was going to happen. He told me exactly what was going to happen before it even happened. I was already bracing for it. As a matter of fact, I was already speaking about it happening before it happened. So much where people were coming to my channel saying, yo, who is this dude? Talking about this stuff 4 or 5 years ago, and it's just not happening. Yeah, so they had to delete my channel. You ain't gotta like me or agree. The truth is the truth. I ain't here to kiss your butt. I ain't here to hold your hand, and I ain't here to make you like me. Her temple is become as a man that was glorious. Her vessels of glory are carried into captivity. So when it used to be beauty, it's no longer. Her infants are slain in the streets. Does it sound familiar? This was back at a time where if you went over to Israel, you would see us living there as slaves. You would see babies right here killed out in the middle of the street who were killed by the sword of the enemy. What nation has not inherited her palaces? What nation has not took from Jerusalem and inherited her palaces and gotten possession of her spoils? Like I told you, they got our children over in these museums right now, literally glorifying the robbery and the captivity of their own selves. This is an ancient artifact from Jerusalem. Ooh, this is beautiful. You're sitting there glorifying your own stolen goods, artifacts. You see what I'm saying? Her adorning is all taken away. All the gold, all of the nice, everything has been robbed and pillaged. Instead of free, woman is become a bond woman. Instead of a free woman, she has become a slave. And behold, our holy things and our beauty and our glory are laid to waste, and the Gentiles have profaned them. What is a Gentile? A Gentile is a heathen. A Gentile is somebody who is not Jew. It's somebody who is not Israel. So he's saying that the people who are running Jerusalem are Gentiles who have stolen the land. I repeat, if we are doing so wicked right now with the Most High's reproach on us, what makes you think that the people who are over in Jerusalem, claiming to be Jews, who have robbed and pillaged the land, who have taken it, who are living in it right now, are not Gentiles? What makes you think they're not Gentiles? They are Gentiles, and the Most High's people are us in captivity. It's funny how people don't understand. It's not funny. It's sad that people don't understand this to this day. Oh, you're being anti-Semitic. I'm going to simply tell you, shut up. Forget that being politically correct. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Why should we live any longer, he says. And Mattathias and his sons, they tore their clothes and they put on sackcloth and they mourned exceedingly. They didn't feel like looking fresh anymore. They just put on some whatever. And they cried and they cried and they cried exceedingly. Now, why is lamentation? Crying is lamentation. Why did they cry and they cry exceedingly? For one, when you cry exceedingly, you're crying out to the Most High and he will hear your cries. The Most High hears your cries and lamentations. Okay? The Spirit, there's another thing that the Spirits tell me. Every other day they're telling me lament. Lament. And I'm like, well, I can't just cry on cue, you know what I mean? But I be crying a lot. And it be them kind of tears that just flow. They just take over you. It just takes over your whole, I don't know. It's just strong from the gut. It's strong from the core. It comes from the core. The pain comes from the core. Okay? That does something for our people. It helps. So they cried exceedingly. Because it hurt. Not because they were just trying to cry. It hurt. And the king's officers that were enforcing the apostasy, they came into the city of Moab to sacrifice. And many of the Israelites came to them, and Mattathias and his sons were gathered together. And the king's officers answered, and they spoke to Mattathias, and they said, you are a ruler, and you are an honorable and great man in this city of Moab, and strengthened with sons. You have strong sons. Now, before you come first, now, therefore, you come first and you do the commandment of the king, not our king, as all the nations have done, and the men of Judah and those who still do remain in Jerusalem, our people. And you and your house will you be numbered. If you come and do what we have the whole world basically done, you and your household will become honorable workers like with the king. You know what I mean? You can join our policy, like police, government. Now, mind you, he said what the people of the world are doing. This was not just a practice that was happening in Israel while it was under captivity. This was a practice, he said, that is going on worldwide. We just need you to do it too. Do you hear me? Has homosexuality gone worldwide and praised worldwide? Yes. They call it all gender loving. It's worldwide. Has working and getting a job and paying taxes gone worldwide? Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you that when you pay taxes, this is them forcing you. Well, it's not forced because you sign off on your tax form saying that I make an oath and I vow to pay these tithes. Tithes. Now, why do they call it? You're paying tithes and offerings when you pay taxes. It ties you to their gods. This is basically you sacrificing. That money that they take from your check is a sacrifice. That you say that, okay, I'll do it. These are your tithes and offerings to their pagan gods. They set it up like that worldwide. Listen. You will be honored with silver and gold and many gifts if you go along. And Mattathias answered and said with a loud voice, if all of the nations are in the house of the king's dominion to listen to him, to fall away, each one from the worship of his own fathers. You hear what he's saying? If all of the nations are going off onto this oath and this pact with this government policy that's worldwide, and they have strayed away from the worship of the you know, our Our forefathers passed down laws and folkways and norways and norms to us of how we should live. When if all of the nations have forfeited that and went along with what this king's policy and have made choice to follow his commandments, have made choice to follow his commandments, yet me and my sons will walk in the covenant of our fathers. What is the covenant of our fathers? Our fathers have made a covenant with the Most High God of Israel, a pact that we, and an oath that we will keep the law, statutes, and commandments forever. Listen, he said, if they have chose to keep the commandments of this king, we choose to keep the commandments of our God. It's a choice. Listen. Oh, you voted? You dummy. Oh, you voted? You dummy. You see what I'm saying? Heaven forbid that we should forsake the law and our own ordinances. So here he is going against government, worldwide order, new world order, world government, world domination, global. He said, no, we ain't doing it. We will not listen to the king's words. And a Christian will be like, what? You're not going to, well, you're breaking the law. Christianity is a trick, and it is a worldwide, and it's dominating worldwide. And it's exactly the same thing that was going on here. It was just like Christianity. We do not listen to the king's words to go inside, to go aside of our own worship on the right hand or on the left hand. We ain't doing it. And he that had left speaking these words, then he had left after speaking these words, there came a Israelite man in the sight of everybody, and he sacrificed on the altar at Modin, according to the king's commandment. And Mattathias saw it, and his zeal was kindled, and his reins trembled. Meaning, when he saw it, it says his zeal trembled. Bro, he got frustrated. He got furious. These devils would say he got hateful. And he showed his wrath according to judgment, and he ran over and he killed him right on that very altar. Why? It was an altar that was set up to pay tithes to the government. It was just like taxes. There wasn't some big devil sitting up there with horns. No. The king's officer who compelled the men to sacrifice, he got killed too by Mattathias. Mattathias killed him too, the officer, and pulled down the altar. Okay? The altar was pulled down, and he was zealous for the law, even as Phinehas did at Simri, the son of Salu. And Mattathias cried out in the city with a loud voice, saying, whoever else is zealous for the law of the Most High, and mountains, and who maintains the covenant that the Most High made with us, let him come out with me. And he and his sons fled into the mountains, and they forsook all that they had in the city. They left their houses, they left their horses, they left their clothes. They forsook all that they had in the city. They were ready to up and leave, and they did. This is what these devils are afraid of. This is what they're afraid of. This is why they call hate speech. This is why they come with this term called toxic masculinity. They don't push that crap on Chinese people. They don't use those terms towards Mexicans. They don't use that term towards anybody except for black folks. Toxic masculinity. Hate speech. Who did you ever hear them really accuse of hate speech? besides us. When we start only telling our people to do right, to get right. And if somebody places their hand on you to try to cause harm to you, break it. That's violent. That's violent. What are you talking about? Self-defense. Yo, we struggle so much with these Decepticons. We struggled for years and years and years against these Decepticons. And now it's at the point where we are not even afraid of them, really. We just are so dependent on what they have to offer that we're scared to go against their satanic policy. Well, Mattathias and his sons, they left everything that they had in the city and they went up to the mountains. We know that y'all run stuff. We know y'all the government. We know that y'all run stuff. We know that it's because of you that the lights come on and the water comes on. And that as soon as you learn how to take elements of the earth to power something with it, to create electrical charge with it, we know that you're coming to kill us. Is that hate speech? Is that hate speech? Or is that the truth? You take elements from the earth and you learn how to get electrical charge and power something, they come to kill you. You create an automobile and let it run off nothing but water. They come to take your life away. Now, is that the truth or is that hate speech? Now, is that the people who you love? That's the ones who you like? You're scared to go against them? You're a chump. Your few days in this earth mean nothing. You come in this earth as a chump. You go straight along with the satanic policy and then you die with no honor at all. You're a chump. You're nothing more than a chump. You see what Mattathias did when they try to come and get him. They try to bribe him. They said, we'll pay you with silver and gold and we'll make you honorable amongst the king with the kings. We like you. Listen. And then, see what you need to realize. Here's another thing you need to realize about Mattathias. Mattathias was a preacher of the Most High's word. Mattathias was a man who spoke truth. So he raised his sons in truth. So there was no second guessing with him and his sons. They knew the Most High. They had a relationship with the Most High, and they had faith in the Most High. Then many that sought after justice and judgment. Judgment of who? Judgment. These people are leading. It's a wicked government, a satanic government that's leading people into captivity. Judgment. These people need to be judged. The ones who sought justice and judgment, they went out into the wilderness to dwell out there. They and their sons and their wives and their animals, their cattle, because evils were multiplied upon them. Evils. Well, I thought it was just a government official that was trying to get them to pay homage and pay taxes and sacrifice like the whole world was doing. The whole world. It says evils were upon them. What the hell makes you think that evil ain't upon you? When you got shit like P-Valley coming on TV, and it's one of the most popular TV stations today. You got shit like Power coming on. It's these dudes running around with guns doing all kinds of wicked activity. Power. Starring a dude who's a real life killer who brags about killing people in real life. Gangster. What he'll do to you. What he'll do to you if you ever get out of line. These is chumps. They're all chumps. I'm telling you, they're all chumps. And the Most High is sitting there waiting to bring judgment. He's waiting to rain down judgment on them. As soon as we wake up and come to him in truth and in righteousness and cry and lament and say, Father, this is wrong. I don't want nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. No, I don't want a job. I'm not just a disgruntled person who don't have money and don't have a job, can't get a job. No, I don't want one. I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to be a part of this society. I don't want to go and work and create wicked things for the world. I don't want to go work and produce wicked things for the world for money. No, I don't want to work at Coca-Cola or at Budweiser. No, I don't want to. I don't want to do any of it. I don't want to work and make tampons. It was a more peaceful place when our women listened to what the Most High said and they bled into the earth. But as soon as we forsook our own customs, now here we are dealing with the customs of some sodomites. It's a worldwide thing. You heard of New World Order. Well, here you are watching it. You heard it. It's nothing new under the sun. They've been trying to build the Tower of Babel, didn't they? That's a one world government. They had this one world right here, led by King Alexander. Listen, go read Maccabees for yourself. Because evils were multiplied upon them, we went out into nature with our families. And it was told that the king, does this sound familiar? Because this is the same thing that happened in Egypt. Our people went out into the wilderness and we stayed 40 years out there. Did we not? When Jesus wanted some peace, where did he go at? Out into the wilderness. When Moses wanted some peace and to spend some time alone with God, did he go to a church? Huh? When you wanted to spend time with God, where did you go when you didn't have your own temple? The devils have synagogues everywhere. You don't go to one of them shits to find God. The closest place you're going to get to God right now, if you want to find him really, out in nature. And trust me, we ain't one of them. We don't have to take a knife, a bow and arrow, a gun, some big ass combat boots, a big ATV four-wheeler, some bug repellent, a slingshot, some kind of repair kit, some medical kit. We don't need none of that crap. You hear me? Everything that they take, they have to take that crap out in the nature, bro, and they still get attacked. I had a sandwich in my luggage, and a bear came and almost killed me. He wanted my sandwich. We don't even eat meat. You're not even going to catch me out in nature with a sandwich. First of all, a bear ain't coming for my life. And for two, a bear's not coming for what I have. I'll have some peanuts, maybe. In my bag, I'll have some mint leaves, man. I have some mint leaves, probably some cashews. You know what I mean? Maybe a pear or something. A bear's going to smell that from 20 miles away and come to get it? No. These people are, but they're not as smart as they think they are. And it was told to the king's officers and the forces that were in Jerusalem, the city of David, that these certain men who had broken the king's commandment, they'd broken the law, meaning that they would have been guilty in court. They were gone down into the secret places in the wilderness, and many pursued after them, and they have overtaken them, and they encamped against them, and they set the battle in the array against them on the Sabbath day. Now notice, when you read the scriptures, they love to bring beef on the Sabbath, on Saturday, yo, on our holy day. They love to bring war to us on the Sabbath day, because that's the day that we're not really ready for beef. That's the day that we are at peace and at ease. That is our day. Not anymore, but it used to be. They brought beef to us on the Sabbath day. Why the Sabbath day? Listen, I'm telling you, even at a time back then when the whole world was corrupted, they still chose the Sabbath day to do it. That means that the Sabbath day was probably not completely defiled as it is today. Okay? And they said to them, so far, they said, come out and do according to the word of the king, and you will live. Don't that sound like these monkeys today, these policy upholders? What do they say? Come out with your hands up. You know what I'm saying? No sudden movements or we'll be forced to open fire. Come out according to the word of the king, and you will live. That's them hollering at us in the wilderness. They had a bullhorn, the same way how these devils got one today. It's nothing changed. And they said, we will not. Can you imagine living back at a time like this? It's really happened. This has really, really happened. Where the world is against you. Just because you're not going along with the crap no more, God damn it. Not going along with it no more, God damn it. Care what you say, how beautiful you think it is. I don't care. They had silver and gold to offer you back then the same way they offer you money now. The sodomites are running around with the best jobs. These niggas got Benzes. And they got Gucci and Louis Vuitton. And the real women are still shopping at Rainbow. The real women got to go shop at Rainbow while the sodomites got the money to go buy Coach luggages and stuff. Don't you see it? They're being subsidized by this system. They get the best jobs. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, man. The manager is a sodomite. The owner is a sodomite. Always a sodomite, bro. The manager who manages this place that I live in is a sodomite who rides around in a very shiny. You ain't never seen that car dirty, bro. You ever seen that black car dirty? Shining, ain't it? Always shining. And they said, no, we will not come out. Neither will we do the word of the king to profane the Sabbath day. Are you starting to see something here? Do you remember Eleazar? They said they said the king, he put out a decree that all of the Hebrew Israelites had to eat pork or eat some meat from an animal that they sacrificed to their gods. And everybody was doing it because they didn't want to die. But Eleazar said, no, I ain't doing it. Oh, you want to know where to read this at? Go to 4th Maccabees. 4th Maccabees. You have 1 Maccabees, 2 Maccabees, 3 and 4. Go to 4th Maccabees, chapter 5, I think it is. And you can read about Eleazar at a time where they sent a decree out to get all of Israel to eat pork and animals that are eating sacrifice to their God. Now, you celebrating Thanksgiving, you ate turkey. What the heck? What makes you think that you did not, that turkey was not sacrificed to their God? You didn't kill it. These people play games. I'm sick of playing games, and I'm sick of these people, and I'm sick of trying to talk in a way where these people can accept it. If you don't like it, get gone. If you don't like what I'm saying, get gone. Okay? Go watch TD Jakes. Somebody patting you on the back with your sinful self, with your ignorant self. They're not going to teach you nothing, man. They said, no, we're not going to listen to the king and profane the Sabbath. And they hurried to give them battle. They said, okay, oh yeah? And they brought war to our people. And they answered them not. Neither cast a stone at them, meaning that we didn't even fight back. We didn't fight back. We didn't even throw a rock at them. And we didn't stop. Nor stopped up the secret places, saying, let us die in our innocence. Heaven and earth will witness over us that you put us to death without trial. And they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they died. They and their wives and their children and their animals all died, numbering 1,000 souls. And Matthias, now this is not Matthias in them, because these are the ones, and that's, see this Bible right here, it doesn't even put it in these words, but those people who you heard of who just died, they were hiding in the desert. Okay? But Matthias and his sons and them were hiding up in the mountains, in the hills. They didn't die with them. And if you read another version of the Apocrypha, it says totally different words than this, doesn't it? What does it say? It says that the government came and they said, hand over Matthias and his sons, and we will spare y'all's lives. And the people said, no. Ain't that what it said? But when you read this version, it says nothing as such. It says nothing at all like that. These devils get a hold of our books and they completely change whole words, whole sentences. They change entire events. They will have you thinking that conversation never even happened. Did it or didn't it? I don't know what version to believe. And that's why before I read the scriptures, I ask the Most High to help me. Because here I am about to read the story of my people, written in a foreign tongue that I'm even speaking myself, by people who tampered with it. It wasn't even written to them. It's not even their book. It's not even written about their ancestors. It's about mine. So anyway, Matthias and his sons were up in the hills, and that's the reason why they survived. Matthias and his friends, they knew what had happened, and they mourned over them exceedingly, crying. And one said to another, if we all do as our kindred, family, our loved ones have done, and we fight not against these Gentiles for our own lives and our own ordinances, then they will destroy us off of the earth. And they took counsel on that day, saying that whoever will come up against us in battle on the Sabbath day, we're going to fight against them. See, our people didn't fight because they didn't want to profane the Sabbath day. But we made up our minds and said, if they bring beef to us as self-defense, then we are going to bring beef back to them, self-defense. Okay, now, they claim that we speak hate speech, and it's hatred, but it's in defense of a way that they are normal. They're trying to make it normal for our sons to be this way. They're trying to make it normal for our daughters to be this way. That's not hate speech. That's not hate speech. It's a direct attack. So in defense of the attacks that they're trying to bring to us, we speak truth. It's called truth to power. You speak truth unapologetically. How can you be sorry for telling our people to teach their children that this is not normal? That a man and a woman are supposed to go. This is common sense. So how can you call common sense hate speech? That's another attack. You see what I'm saying? Listen, everything that we do and say is a defense to what they've been doing to us globally for hundreds and hundreds of years. You see what I'm saying? It's not hatred when somebody is literally beating the crap out of you, and then you make it out of that situation. How? And if I'm only telling you how to make it out of that situation, and it's really not hatred. And they'll say, well, it's hate speech. How? When I'm trying to help my brother to come out of the shackles that you're placing on his mind, body, and soul. See, they want us living our lives in a way where the Most High's reproach stays hot against us forever. Because as long as the Most High, our God, is mad at us, then they can have their way with us. But as soon as we turn back to the Most High and we keep the law, statutes, commandments, you see, we kept the Sabbath. The Sabbath has been profaned at this point in time. They changed it till Sunday. Come on, they want you all meeting up at their synagogues on Sunday and paying tithes. That's the same thing they tried to get Mattathias and his sons to do, and they didn't do it. They went out in the wilderness and they kept the Sabbath day, Saturday, even while faced with murder, death, and destruction. When are we going to get it through our heads? You expect these pastors. They ain't nothing but little weak ass fun boys. They will never speak to you like this. They don't have it in them. And they took counsel on that day and they said, whoever brings battle to us on the Sabbath day from here on out, we're going to bring beef back to them and we're going to fight against them. And we will no longer, it will not be wise for us to all just die like that. As our kindred have died in the secret places. They were in the desert. Then were gathered together them a company of Hasidians, mighty men of Israel, every one that offered himself willingly for the law of the Most High. And all those who fled from the evils were added to them and became stay with them. Now listen. Why do people act like government can't be evil? Why do people act like government can't be evil? These people are running from the law. They're running from the government. They're running from policy. Listen, and they mustered up an army and they struck sinners in their anger. Don't judge. Don't be angry. Be happy. If there's anything wrong with you, if you're feeling some type of way, it's your problem. You need another outlook on life. Everything is good until you perceive it as bad. That is a lie and that is a false doctrine. Do you hear me? And they mustered up an army and they struck down sinners in their anger and lawless men in their wrath. And the rest fled to the Gentiles for safety. So who are they bringing beef to? Our own people who are living lawlessly and wickedly. We were killing them. And our own people who who were getting killed who were getting killed for the wickedness, they ran to the Gentiles for safety. And Mattathias and his friends and his sons went around and they pulled down the altars. They started to destroy the churches, the synagogues of Satan. They started to knock down the statues. And this was back at a time where I'm pretty sure that they didn't have a goddamn bullhorn thing sitting there looking crazy as all hell with two children, a black boy and a little white girl looking up to it. They're setting these things up all over the place. Are you scared? Are you scared to spit on it while everybody else is sitting around taking pictures of it and taking pictures with it? Because that's what they do. These people go around and take pictures of it. I'd spit on it. They make it solid and big so you can't push it over. You can't even run a car into it. All you're going to do is kill yourself. You need some type of crane. I don't have no weak spot in my heart for this satanic place. I see it for what it is. I don't have no love for this place. And I don't have to. Where are we at? And I don't have to. I wasn't born. When I was born, I didn't sign nothing saying that I'm going to have nothing but pure love for anything that comes my way. My parents signed terms and conditions to these devils. Anyway, hold on. Let's continue reading. So they pulled down all of their altars. We went around as a group, pulling down altars. Can you imagine? They were calling us vigilantes. They were calling us, I don't know what they was calling us, all kind of things, lawbreakers, and we should die. Period. Kill them. And because by this point we were killing people. We had killed people. And they circumcised by force the children who were uncircumcised by force. Give me that baby. Pull them pants down. Uncircumcising this baby right now. Now, what do you think that they did with the foreskin? You think they ate it? Huh? You think they ate it? You think they did witchcraft and sorcery over it? They buried it in the dirt, man. They dug a hole. They put the foreskin in the dirt. They covered it up. Oh, well, what would that do? Bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? If you're bleeding, you shouldn't pour that down the drain so it can get preyed on by demons. They're already praying. They already got witches and warlocks praying on over our DNA with the septic tanks and the trash disposals. This is not my opinion. The Most High told me this. If your finger gets chopped off, you don't let no doctor have it. You don't let nobody have it. You put it in the dirt. You don't put it in the trash. Or you put it in the dirt, period. They don't want blood or any of our DNA. If a cop sees you on the ground, that punk can charge you and give you a fine. If he catches you peeing, relieving yourself outside, he can come up and give you a fine and call it indecent exposure, public indecency. But when parade day is going on, and I talked about this the other day, when that gay parade crap is going on, the same punk ass cop is right there watching all these dudes, gay men and women, run around parading half naked. Some of them are just dangling, just swinging it in the streets. They run around with their breasts hanging out on Pride Month, all month long. Everybody's naked in the streets. But if he catches you peeing next to a tree, though, fine. You have to show up in court. If he catches you, if you have to poop real bad, God forbid in this society that you go in nature somewhere and pick a spot, because if they catch you, you're done. Why? Because it's illegal to put your DNA into the earth. It has to go into a septic tank. It comes straight to them. Why? The Most High said that when you die, you're supposed to go back. You're supposed to put the body back in the ground, right? They don't do that. They separate the blood. They take the brain, the organs. They put a shell of a man. Yeah, the shell of a man. The outside, it just looks like a person. There ain't even no eyeballs behind there. They take them, pop them eyeballs out. They keep all that. And then they put the shell of a body into a bulletproof coffin and put that in the ground. You never make connection. Why? Because the DNA connects with the earth. The earth bears witness. Why did this person die? The earth is a natural healer. especially to the Most High's children. When Cain killed Abel, his blood cried out from the grave. Where's your brother at? Oh, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? You killed him. You know how I know? Because his blood cried out from the grave. It told on you. His blood, his DNA told on you, man. See? It told on you. And that's why. Anyway, so they went around forcibly circumcising all of the little children, the Hebrew Israelite children, who had not been circumcised. As many as they found in the coasts of Israel, forcibly doing it. And they pursued after the sons of pride, and they prospered in their hand. And they pursued after the sons of pride. That means that they were going after the pride, the sons of pride. And they prospered in their hand, and they prospered in their hand. And they rescued the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of the king. Neither suffered, and not suffering their people to suffer sin and triumph. When you operate under the law of these devils, you are being triumphed over by these sodomite rulers, and the Most High's scorn is against you. What they did is they took law back over into our own hands, and they governed our people with the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, rescuing us from the Most High's reproach, and using these people to destroy us any longer. Okay? It can be done. Why do you think they took why do you think they took these stories out of the Bible? Why? Because it doesn't take $1 million to be free. All you have to do is come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, cry out to the Most High God, and watch what happens, and just wait for it. It's not like a movie. Just wait for it. The truth will begin to dawn on you. You will acquire wisdom. Watch. Just do it. Listen. We took the law. We rescued the law out of the hands of the Gentiles and out of the hand of the kings. Neither suffered they the sinner to triumph. And the days of Matthias drew near that he should die. And here goes another one who did what he had to do while he was alive. He grew old and was ready to leave this place. But he lived an honorable life, and he made a mark in this place. He didn't sit around and say, let me live my best life and go along with this satanic crap, even though I know that it's wrong. Let me go along with it. It was only him and his sons when he began to go against this satanic policy. Okay, and they grew and they grew and they grew, and they began to take over they began to get that satanic policy crap out of here that they had going on, and took over. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You don't send your children to go learn some wickedness just because it's just nah, bro. It's over. It's done. It's done. It's done. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't be scared. Oh, but what about, yo, you don't do it. You know what they're doing. You know they're playing hangman in school with these children. You know what they're doing. You know that they're systematically training these little children to be sodomites. You know it for a fact. Don't play no games. Don't play no games. Real men are not coming out of that place. Real men are not coming out of that place, bro. I see the spirit that are now, the spirit of a man is gone. And there's something else now. I know, because I see these dudes. I see these men, man. I see these guys. I talk to them. I see them. It's a new spirit. It's a new kind of man. It's not right. The woman too, it's a new kind of spirit. It's something that I have never seen before. These men, I don't know. It's like cornball. It's cornballish, but it's something else too. It's something. I don't know. It's something. And the days of Matthias drew near that he should die, and he and his sons now have pride and rebuke. They have now gotten strength, is what it's saying, in a season of overthrow. and wrath of indignation, anger, righteous indignation. They had wrath, okay? And now, my children, you zealous for the law and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. My sons who are zealous for the law, give your lives for the laws of your fathers. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob made an oath and a pact and a treaty with the Most High God of Israel that we shall keep the law, statutes, commandments forever in our generations, so that it may go well with our descendants. And whenever we deviate from our law, statutes, commandments, captivity happens. We wind up under the captivity of King Alexander. And here's the thing about King Alexander, okay? The tyrant who took over the world. They have your children in school loving King Alexander, writing about King Alexander. In school, they'll teach you all about King Alexander, and then they'll have your child writing essays about this. Do you hear me? But they'll never teach you about Mattathias. They'll never teach you about EHud. You ask any one of them, go to high school, and you ask anybody, you ever heard of King Alexander? Have you ever heard of King Alexander? Oh, yeah. He was great, wasn't he? Man, you listen to me, man. Now, my children, be zealous for the law and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Meaning, don't you ever compromise. Don't you ever let some devil stick no thermometer up your son's ass. I don't give a damn if that's a custom here and that's regular and that's just what they do. Don't you let no pedophile stick no damn thermometer up no goddamn. You got one life to live. You better come here and live it. Don't play with these people. Shit, you was born to be a man. You better be one. You was born to be a woman. You better be one. How many opportunities you think you got to be a man? Be a man, bro. You was born as a man. Be one. Be one. And die one. You only got a few days to come into this earth. We only have a few days to come in here, man. Man. Call to remembrance the deeds of our fathers, which they did throughout our generations, and receive great glory in an everlasting name. This is what Mattathias said to his sons before he died. He said, think about all the others who came, and in a few days that they had to live here, they left their mark because they lived without fear. They were zealous for the law. Okay, they were not going to let some chump sit there and call them toxic masculinity or hate speech. Or are you trying to incite some type of riot or something to a person that's just trying to uplift his people and get them to stop being sodomites, gangsters, alcoholics, and whoremongering, hooked on weed and crack and all this other crap? Trying to lead our people out of death and destruction. Systematic. It's systematic. It's just normal, though, that your uncle is like that your brother is like that your dad is one of them. Man, listen. Call to remembrance the deeds of your fathers, which they did in past generations, and receive great glory in an everlasting name like they did. Be honorable, man. Okay? Well, help me out, man. Please. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was reckoned to him for righteousness? He didn't fall for the temptation. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandments and became Lord of Egypt. This is Mattathias. Listen to me, y'all. They removed this book out of the Bible, but Mattathias himself read the scriptures. Mattathias himself is sitting here talking about Joseph and Abraham, talking about our forefathers, man. He's saying this to his sons. He's saying, Phineas, our father, for that he was zealous exceedingly for the law, he obtained the covenant of the everlasting priesthood. Joshua, for fulfilling the word became a judge in Israel. Caleb for bearing witness in the congregation, obtaining a heritage in the land. David for being merciful, he inherited the throne of a kingdom forever and ever. Elijah for that he was exceedingly zealous for the law, he was taken up into heaven. Hananiah, Azariah, Mishael, they believed and they were saved out of the flame. Daniel and his innocence was delivered from the mouth of lions. And so consider you from generation to generation that none that put their trust in the Most High will lack for strength. Yes, these devils are scary. Yes, they take over the world. Yes, they threaten you with oppression. Yes, their mouths they claim to heaven. Yes, they think that they're actually blessed and have the power to bless people. Be not afraid of the words of a sinful man, for his glory will be like dung and like worms. Today he will be lifted up, and tomorrow he will in no wise be found. Okay? Today he will be lifted up, but tomorrow he has no future. He has no future though. Okay? He will not even be found tomorrow because he is returned to the dust. He is returned to the dust. He is like a mere object, man. You don't put all this trust and glory and give all of this to a car. It's here now and it's glorious now, but one day it will be no more. It's not going to go to heaven and be glorious, and it's not going to have an honorable lineage. It's nothing. It's just an object. And these people, they're nothing but objects too. It's in here telling you they're nothing but objects, and that's why they worship objects. Their God is an object. Their God is an object. They create stuff to worship because they are nothing but an object. The Most High made us in his likeness. Okay? After we die, we go and we are gathered to our fathers. You feel me? Listen, after they die, they are nothing but dust. They are returned to nothing but dust. The same way their gods go back to dust. Okay? His whole remembrance is perished. And you, my children, be strong and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law. Show yourself to be a man and on the behalf of the law, for therein you will obtain glory in the law. Hold on to your manhood, is saying. Be a man. Don't be afraid of no devil. And behold, Simon, your brother, I know that he is a man of counsel. Give ear to your brother, Simon, always, because he will be a father to you. And Judas Maccabees, he has been strong and mighty ever since he was a child. He will be your captain, and he will fight the battle for your people and take you into all of the doors of the law and avenge the wrong of the people. Okay, so Judas is going to be your general. Render a recompense to the Gentiles and take heed to the commandments of the law. And he blessed them, and he died and was gathered to his fathers. And he died 140. He was 146 years, and his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin. And all of Israel made great lamentations for him. I'm going to stop right there. You know what I'm saying? You know where I'm going with this. You already know what I'm saying. You need to go and read this for yourself. And if you have a son, if you have sons, if you have nephews, you need to read this to them with a heart. You need to have a spirit, man. You need to wake up, bro. If you ain't got the spirit of a man in you, then you need to get down on your hands and knees and pray and ask the Most High for it. Okay? That don't mean that you have to walk around all tough and stuff like that. You be wise. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have to adhere to these people's, to what the program that they're on, you don't have to adhere to it. You don't have to be included or involved at all. You don't have to deal with people. You don't have to. Okay? But listen to me, y'all. Go read this. Read about EHud. Okay? Read it for yourself. Read about EHud for yourself. Go read Maccabees, first Maccabees for yourself. Be a man. They're killing us left and right. They're replacing us with sodomites. Okay? Be a man, bro. You have to be a man. Be a man. Be an honorable man. Let the few days that you have, and you have to be a woman, but let your few days that you have in this earth mean something, man. Let it count for something. Let it count for something. I'm going to tell you like this. One day, man, I was asleep, and my spirit went to go be with, I remember Malcolm X was there, and there was a whole bunch of other men. We was in this place. There was a clear barrier between where the place that we were and another place. It was a clear barrier. You could see to the other side. It was something there. As soon as I came, Malcolm X hugged me. He had the biggest smile on his face. He was cheesing and he was hugging me. And as he was hugging me, there was many other people patting me on the back, telling me that I did a good job. Okay? It's the truth. This happened. I remember somebody had a problem with me saying this because, well, what, Malcolm X and not Jesus? Bro, listen. I can't tell you what's going to happen. It happened. It happened. It was many people, and they were telling me that I did like good run, basically like good run. You know how you smack like the basketball players smack one on the butt and be like, yo, good run? That's how they were telling me, good run, man. You had a good run, man. That happened. Telling you the truth. Be a man, bro. Be a man. Live the life of a man. Be honorable. Stand for something. Be for real. There's a lot of fakers and fronters out there too. There's a lot of fakers and fronters out there. They look good on screen. They look good on their little posts on Facebook. Man, be for real. You heard? Pray to the Most High many, many times a day. Matter of fact, I gotta get ready to do mine. Pray to the Most High many times a day. Offer up libations to the Most High. Okay? Read the scriptures. When you see, oh, this person offered libations to the Most High 2 times a day, you say, I could do that though. That's something I could do. I could do that. I could pull that off. You give libations to the Most High or oblations to the Most High 2 times a day too. Oh, David prayed to the Most High 7 times a day. You say, well, I could do that. And David being an honorable man, let me do it. I'm going to do it too. You know what I'm saying? You do it. It ain't hard. I'm out of here, man. Have a good day. Peace. Safe Passage says, Shalom, bro. Peace, family. Damn, taxes is ties to the idols. Yeah, that's heavy. Yes, it is, brother. Yes, it is. It truly is. How can I escape this BS? Listen. How do you escape it? This is what you do. It ain't something that just stops overnight. It don't just stop overnight. You have to see it for what it is. First, you see it. You recognize it for what it is. Then you have a disdain for it in your heart. Once you get the disdain for it in your heart and you no longer like it and you no longer love it, there's the beginning of your liberation. Okay? You say, I don't want it. I don't want to work for these devils no more. I don't want their money. I don't want to be rich. I don't want it anymore. Then you feel that. Then you start to pray against it. That's what you do. You pray against it. That's how it's a thing that happens spiritually, mentally, then physical comes later. You see what I'm saying? Mattathias had to have a disdain for what he saw. When Mattathias saw what was going on in Jerusalem, what's the first thing that happened? Did he first start going to war? No. He said, wait a minute. I see it. I perceive it as bad. I don't like it. He cried. He lamented to the Most High. He asked, why? How could this be? Right? Then he started to refuse. After praying, then he began to refuse. And then, you know what I mean? Then the freedom, then physical came later. Mental, spiritual, physical comes later. Okay? You know what to pray for now. You see what they're doing. It's a satanic system. You know what to pray for. You pray against it. You pray to the Most High. You let him know, this is what's going on, Father. There's a systematic thing going on here. You pray against it, bro. That's what you do. Cry. Don't hold back tears. They teach us to hold back tears. Men don't cry. But then when they see you being a man, they say you're being toxic masculinity. Well, which is it? They're liars. They say men don't cry. They say real men wear pink. But when they see you being a real man, they say you're being toxic. They say it's hatred that you're speaking and this and that. Yo, bro, they don't want you to be a man. Real men cry and they lament to the Most High and they do all that they can do. I'm not breaking the law. Now it's at the point where I'd rather die before I defile myself. I'd rather die. You know what I'm saying? Before I reject the Sabbath and do what it is that you want me to do on this day, I'd rather die. And you know what I noticed? They do a lot of stuff on Saturday. They like to come around on Saturdays and knock on your door. The Christians come around on Saturdays and knock on your door. Would you be coming to church? Are you interested in coming to church with us tomorrow? You don't even have to drive. We send a bus around. They come around to our community, the hood where we're at. They come to where the Hebrew Israelites are at, in the hoods and in the ghettos on our Sabbath day, and they try to get us to unify with them. The same way that they tried to do Mattathias. Now imagine if they was coming around offering money. They offered Mattathias silver and gold and an honorary position in their ranks. And he said, no, you must be out your mind. I'm tired of playing this game. I'm sick as well. They offended. So they get so offended so easily, where we gotta tiptoe. Yeah, man. But the thing is family, they're not really even offended, bro. It's just they run the world, bro. They run the world, man. They run the world. They got the jobs, they got the money, they got the car. They run it right now, bro. They're not really offended. They're afraid. They don't listen. They don't like the fact that somebody goes against what they stand for, that you're brave enough to speak out against it. They want you to be afraid. It's just they don't want to see a man, bro. Everybody gets alarmed when they see a man. When they see a real man, a Hebrew Israelite man, everybody gets afraid, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking at these, they're looking at you, man. If you're real, they're looking at you. They're not so caught up in who got the big name and who's big and who's famous and who's big. Nah, it's not. Nah, because they're the ones that's really compromising. They're the ones that's really biting their tongue and not, they're the ones that don't really have heart really too anyway. It's the one who do got the heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's the one who do have the zeal of the Most High, who is overzealous. Not overzealous, but has zealousness in his heart for the Most High. They're watching him, bro. They watching you. And they trying witchcraft and sorcery on you. Direct energy weapons and all that. Man, these little punks are scared. Little Pee Wee Herman ass looking. They scared, bro. For real. They really, really scared for real. It's not that they get offended. They get scared. They get scared. Because it was a real man. It was a real man. It was a baby boy who grew up to be a real man who is the reason why their systems get overthrown. Moses was just a little boy. And Moses, the Most High was with Moses. He grew to be a man. He didn't like wickedness that was going on. He was disgusted by the behaviors of our people in Egypt. He was a man. He didn't really care what people actually really thought. You see what I'm saying? He spoke out against popular opinion. That's why 200 people had to die for the Most High to get his point across in the beginning when it all started. Jeremiah, the same way. And as a matter of fact, all of them, the same way. Okay? That's why they can see the traits as a baby, and they have demons working with them. So that's why as a child, they're telling your dad and your mom, said, put him on Ritalin. Put him on Ritalin. He needs Ritalin. You see what I'm saying? He needs medicines. He has a spinal problem. He needs to be put on medications. He has a heart murmur, irregular heartbeat. You care about your son, right? Put him on it. And we'll even pay you to do it. He can get a disability check. He can get a disability check. Just let us diagnose him, put him on the meds, and we'll give you $700, $800 a month disability. They're willing to. It's just printed. They just print the crap. They just print the money. It's not even like it's silver and gold. They just print the crap, and then they're paying us. They're paying us. You see what I'm saying? The Most High, though, the Most High, He's here, man. He's here. My dad didn't take the bait. Everything that they said was wrong with me. My dad, he never took the bait. They told my dad to put me on meds. He has an irregular heartbeat, which I do. That's probably a good thing. My heart don't go do, 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 do. Nope. My heart, you touch my heart goes do, 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 do. My heart might stop for a while. You be like, yo, you feel my heart once. It'll stop for like 2 seconds and then go do, 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 do. That's my heart. Oh, he has a heart murmur. He needs. My dad said, I'll just give you more vegetables. He gave me more vegetables. My dad gave me more vegetables for like a week. He changed my diet for a week. You can't eat that and you can't eat that. Just vegetables. He gave me soup and stuff for like a week. And then I went right back to eating whatever. He only showed concern for like a week about it. You know what I'm saying? So I had an irregular, all kind of stuff, bro. They know how to attack. You hear me? They know how to attack. But the Most High, He knows how to lead the situation. The Most High told my dad, nope, don't do it. Don't put him on there. Whoop him. Just whoop him. My dad gave me whoopings. Oh, he can't sit down. He has ADHD. He can't pay attention. He can't sit still. I'm gonna whoop him. My dad whooped me. He beat the mess out of me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. You said that's why Safe Passage of Israel says that's why they gotta have grant numbers in multitudes against us because they are afraid. They are very afraid. And the thing is, they can't. You're right, brother. They can't stop the. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. You can't get in the way of prophecy. It's inevitable. They try to lie and try to get us to have some type of love and a weak spot. They try to make us weak, period. But they try to make us have a weak spot in our heart for devils, as if devils don't exist. Now, all of a sudden, with this new way of looking at things, devils don't exist. And if you have a problem with anything, you need to check yourself. Man, that's BS. Because if that's the case, then you could go up to EHud. The Most High raises up EHud, and he judged Israel. We already had a king. So for EHud to judge Israel means that he was judging us righteously. The king and the policy of this land is saying that you can do this. But I am telling you, you're wrong, and that's nasty, and you're going to get judged for that. Don't do that. You see what I'm saying? If you could see EHud, he would remind you of like a Malcolm X. But the only thing, EHud, yeah, he judged our people, and he took matters into his own hands, and he killed the king. Okay? That's what you need to realize. So if the way that they say things today is the problem is with you. If you have a negative outlook on things, then you need to go back to the drawing board, and you need to stop being so pessimistic, and you need to stop giving other people power to. This is how they talk today. You're giving other people power to control your feelings and emotions. You need to take charge and have a better outlook on life. It's about the way you perceive things. That's the problem. It's not the world. It's not the satanic policy. It's you. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's why you can get somebody on camera saying, can I get a hello there? Breathe it in, baby. It's good, baby. You woke up today. It's all good. Everything's fine. If you're feeling down, it's you feeling down. You need to find a way to feel up. Man, listen, that's psychological warfare. You're speaking psychologically. These people are already psychologically damaged. And that's the only reason why you're able to even speak that way, because our people are psychologically damaged. Had we not been so psychologically damaged, there is no way that you can flip-flop it like that and say that everything is good. It's just your perception is off. That means that you can go to EHud and say, hey, EHud, the man who's raised by the Most High to come and judge our people. You can say, hey, EHud, what are you complaining about? Everything's fine. Taking a deep breath. It's fine. Just have a better outlook on things. And if EHud was to believe you and listen to you and say, okay, you're right. Nothing really is wrong. They are, nothing. The babies are being misled and led astray and looking up to clowns and drag queens and shit. But I can just take a deep breath out in nature and ignore that. And as long as I'm getting money and it's not happening to me, I can ignore it. You know what I'm saying? That our people are getting shot down gangland style because we've been groomed into a gangland type of life and outlook on things. And as a matter of fact, they're becoming homo thugs. They don't take one thing away and replace it with another. They'll teach you to be a gangster and raise you in a criminal element and have you looking up to gun-toting thugs on TV, and he's the good guy, and then we become the gang-toting thug. They'll also, that was an agenda, but then they'll also put the homo agenda on you, and then you become a homo thug. You have homo thugs who is somebody's landlord right now. Why? Because he's operating and functioning in this society the way that they want him to. So he's prospering here. Somebody like Young Dolph. They said Young Dolph owned over 100 properties. Young Dolph was walking around with tights on, with tight shirts on, with mad gold, a self-proclaimed killer. So your landlord is a homo thug just because he got money. Could you imagine? Young Dolph owns over 100 properties. That means he's mad people's landlords. Could you imagine you living where you live and all of a sudden Young Dolph comes and buys the house and then you gotta listen to him? His policy, rules, come on, bro. This nigga's a killer. Listen to him. I shot that nigga. I killed that nigga. Late night creeping. That's your landlord. Listen, it's wicked and it's a satanic society and we need the Most High. Listen, you can't just you can't just look at this and say, oh, this is wrong, but then not cry out to the Most High about it. The Most High said, pray without ceasing. Now, why would the Most High tell us to pray without ceasing if he didn't know for a fact that we were going to be in a situation that everything must be wrong for you? How could you possibly, listen, bro, somebody sitting here telling you it's okay, baby, while the Most High, on the other hand, is telling you pray without ceasing. Somebody lying. Who's lying? How can you pray without ceasing if there isn't a worldwide wickedness going on? You heard what we just read in Maccabees. It was a worldwide thing going on. And it is today. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay? You're in captivity. Stop letting these people play you, man. Come on. Stop letting these people play you. You're letting them play you. It sounds good. It does sound good. It's psychological warfare. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked at another time, that crap that these people are speaking. It wouldn't have worked. But there's been such psychological damage right now that they can even walk up to, I don't know. It's just I don't know. When you look at Moses, do you really think that somebody could have walked up to Moses and said, it's your perception on things. It's your perception. We're eating good. We're drinking good. You must not have a job or something. It's just, you're pessimistic. Trying to find stuff wrong in a functioning society. It's working. It works. People do crime, they go to jail. You don't sit around and argue and try to explain to something. Somebody like that is institutionalized. They got Stockholm syndrome. You know what I'm saying? That's like arguing with somebody trying to point at the obvious person that's been raping and molesting them for 20 years. If I can't just simply say that's the person that's been raping and molesting you for 20 years. If I can't simply say that and you be like, yeah, you're right. Bad, bad, bad. If I can't do that and I have to explain to you why this person is bad, how they went about molesting you and all of the ways that they're robbing you and leading you to the slaughter and your children, and this is what they want for you for generations to come, thousands of years after you're dead, this is what they want for you and worse. If I have to go through that far, I'm not breaking my neck to explain the obvious to you. You got Stockholm syndrome. You love your oppressor. You love the one that's been robbing and raping you. You love the people who kill, the people who come and try to help us, the people who try to lure us out of this satanic way of living. You love the ones who killed them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to argue with you. It's plain and simple. You have no honor. You don't, sometimes you can see a person like there's no hope for you, man, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can just look at a person and be like, man, let that person go ahead, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then the Most High plants a few different seeds in the earth at different times. And they got it. And sometimes others just won't have it. But we're living in the day today where the Most High said, look and expect for many false prophets. Many false prophets will arise in the last days. We're living in the last days. When you see everybody, when you seen women 2 years ago bragging about being a bad bitch, that same woman is now calling herself a child of God, a star seed, one of his chosen people on the planet, a divine empress, she's calling herself, when she was just parading her butt cheeks on the internet 2 years ago with some apple bottom jeans on, talking about how independent she is. Now, you know that the false prophets are here on the earth when these niggas, these whoremongering niggas who glorified being gangsters, are walking around here now 2 years later, all of a sudden they're kings and gods and stuff, and letting somebody call them God. You don't call me God, and don't you call me king neither. But these people, they love when somebody calls them king and God. You can sit around and watch them all day, call themselves, hey, queen, hey, God, hey, queen, hey, God. They're fake, they're false, and they're phony. And yeah, they're false messengers of prophets. They got a lot to say. They think that they can actually liberate somebody out of a terrible situation. They got a lot to say, bro. They think they know everything. They don't got the heart for it. They're just fake cornballs. And the devils know it. So they even created apps that these people could use to take a picture of themselves and make them look like they're somebody from the ancient times who are an honorable person from ancient times. So you got these women on there with their, you know what I'm saying? You got these dudes on, like, man, get out of here, man. For real. Get out of here, man. That's the days that we're living in. It's a bunch of phonies out there. For real. And they got a lot of views, and their stuff is going viral, and they're being pushed and promoted instead of shadow banned. You come in this place, yo, you got a few days to live. You come in here, you live it, you leave. Come in here, be honorable, man. Be a man. I don't care. Be a man wherever you go. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. And they're trying to attack you. You don't even have to speak anymore. They're already alarmed just when they see you. Now you got to kind of wear glasses because they're reading you. You know what I mean? They're literally trying to read you. So they'll have they're reading everybody though. They're looking. Do you hear me? There's a lot of false messengers and false prophets out here, and they do know that. But at the same time, they know that the Spirit of Christ is back too. Not in only one person neither. They know that it's back. And so these people are here scanning and they're looking to see who is it in. So they're trying to have small talk with you. You go to the store and you're a person that avoids eye contact, and you're just trying to buy your stuff and go. And all of a sudden, the person wants to say, "Oh, are these good?" They're reading, they're scanning everybody. It's no different than when you go to the self checkout. You try to go to the self checkout to avoid people. And when you look up, there's a camera right in your face. You can see your own self on the screen. What do you think? You think that what? I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. They're scanning, they're looking and they're scanning. That's why Neo, the one, he had the glasses on. That's why anybody who could see, anybody who was sent in here who knows better, in any movie, they had glasses on. They scan you through your eyes. You see the machinery, you see the machines. It ain't no facial recognition, it's eye recognition. They scan you through the iris. When you go to jail, the first thing they do is they bring you in and they make you look into this machine and they scan your eyes. Eyes, period. They're going to come out with a reason why you're no longer allowed. Watch. Pretty soon they're going to come out with a reason why you're not allowed to wear sunglasses indoors anymore, in stores anymore. You know what? You know how they're going to do it? All they're going to do is set it up. They're going to get some actors. They're all going to have glasses on. They're all going to pull a crime. And they're going to get away with it because they're wearing glasses and ski masks. And they're going to do that. They're going to do that. They're going to set it up that way. And they're going to say, look what these people got away with because they're wearing glasses and things. You're no longer allowed to wear glasses in the store. If you got a glass on, don't come in the store. And that's how they get you. That's how tricky they are. I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I'm bugging, right? The eyes are the window to the soul. Yeah, they are. So you're right. So they're looking. So what are they looking at? Your soul. They want to see your soul. See all these fake people out here, man. You can see them. They're everywhere. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. I really appreciate you. You see these fake people out here, man. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And even the real people walk around acting fake too. All right, how you doing? Mm-hmm. So they're trying to lock eyes with you. Oh, they know what's up. Trust me. There's this lady at the thrift store that I go to up the street. When we look at each other, it's so awkward. She's a real demon. She's a real witch. She don't have to tell me. I know. She tries to be so cordial with people. Hey, all right, have a good day. But with just looking at her, it's like this. It's like she's not trying it. She's not trying it. Our souls we're identifying each other. She identifies me. I identify her. Not even trying it. I know she's a witch. She knows that I'm woke. Naturally. I know you know what I'm talking about. If you ever had this encounter, then you know what I'm talking about. She knows. I know that she knows the truth about me and my people. I know that for a fact just by glancing at this woman, just one glance. And she knows that I know the truth about me and my people just at one glance. And every time I look at her, I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. It's like, makes me want to throw up. I'm like, all right. See. And she knows that I'm avoiding it. And she be like, she likes it. She wants to hold there. She wants to read me. She wants to keep me there. Did you find any good books? She wants to read me. She wants to watch me. Let me get off of here, man, before it starts getting loud in here. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Much love to you. Much respect to you. Don't get too comfortable. It's on and popping. It is on and popping. Be strong, y'all. Be smart. Don't be weak. Don't let nobody make no weakling out of you. I'll holler at you, all right? All praises and glory to the Most High God of Israel. That's how we're going to get out of here, man. All praises to the Most High God of Israel. Realize where we went wrong when we left our law, statutes, and commandments alone. That's where we went wrong, man. Seriously, that's the reason why they're running things like this. That's the reason why it's so gay. That's the reason why it's so wicked. That's the reason why entertainment is the way that it is. That's the reason why anybody who come out speaking truth, they get killed. Shadow banned. It's just a problem when you come out speaking truth to our people, man. All right. Be real. Don't let nobody do you dirty. I told you. You have to have a disdain. If you want the problem to go, you have to first identify it, have a disdain for it, say, I don't want nothing to do with that, pray against it. That's where it begins. Cry against it. Look around the world and see all of the people who are falling under the destruction, who are falling under this. Bro, we're like chickens. We're like animals. We're like chickens on a freaking on a conveyor belt, just waiting to get plucked off. And then they take your bones, they take your eyeballs, they take your brain, and that's it. I don't know about you, but I ain't with it, yo. I ain't with it. The brother said, all praise and glory to the Most High, man. He says, you said all the time. I was just around a witch yesterday. You said she took me to her house yesterday and suspected she was a witch. Wait a minute. I was just around a witch yesterday. She took me to her house and suspected that she was a witch. And when we got there, she had all kind of Black Madonna idols all around. You better stay away from these people, man. What you doing going to that lady's house, bro? She had all kind of black Madonna. I don't even know what that is. I would have to look that up. A black Madonna. I don't even know what that is, bro. I don't even. I don't even. But I have seen the statue, the Asherah pole of a woman with like 4 hands. I was in a relationship with this girl. She hid all her witchcraft stuff, but she forgot to put that up. I said, yo, what is that? Yo, just be careful, bro. Just be careful. Watch out. I don't want to make this video too long, but the Most High gave me some advice about going in, watching where you go into. I still remember it like it was yesterday. He said, watch where you go into. Watch where you go into. He said, because we don't follow you everywhere. He said, we don't go. He said, when you go into a place, you accept. When you go willingly into a place, then you accept the policy that goes on in that place. That's what he told me. The Most High told me you can get killed in these bars. He told me you can get killed going to the bar. He said you can get killed going to somebody's house. And at the time, somebody asked me to come to their house so I can teach them. So I can teach them something. They wanted to have a discussion with me. And the spirits told me, don't go. Because I was thinking about going. They said, don't go. You can get killed doing that. You don't go to someone's house and do that. If you really want to do this, invite them to your house. They're most likely not going to want, they're not most likely not going to come, but at least you invited them. But don't go to their house with this type of, they told me it's just not safe to do. I'm not saying it should never ever be done, but they told me it's not safe to do. And they told me the kind of danger that I'm in when I willfully go. Like court, when they summon you to come to court, when you just see it and then willfully just go, you put yourself in a predicament. The Most High, the Spirit, he told me that the spirits don't come in there with you. The Most High told me we don't go in there with you. If they drag you in, that's different. But then they try to get you to make an oath. They say, do you vow to do blah, blah, blah. You don't start vowing. You don't do no vows. I can't drag you somewhere against your will and then get you to start doing what I tell you do. Like make you make an oath, make you make a vow, have you raise your hand. You snatched me. You kidnapped me. That's not even normal for you to snatch me and then me start cooperating with you. But you know the only reason why we do it is because we think it's in our best interest to just start going. You already got me. I might as well go along with it now. It's the process. It's the process. No, the hell it's not. If them bastards come and snatch you, they try to get you to they try to get you to accept this and accept that. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say can be reused again. I have to do a whole video on this, man. I have to do a whole video on this because this is way off topic, bro. But listen. As soon as they see you, they say, let's say your last name is Turner. They say, Mr. Turner. And then you be like, you already messed up. They see, they're tricky. As soon as you said that, that you are Mr. Turner, you done messed up, bro. Mr. Turner is a dude who used to be your great grandparents' slave master. The plantation got named after him. You're not no goddamn Mr. Turner. That's not who you are. So here you are, 3,000 years later, some devil walks up to you and says, Mr. Turner. And here you are saying, No, you're not. No, you're not. And whenever you sign that name on any one of these documents, you're further in you're just inducting yourself into this satanic system that your slave owner had you under back way before you was even born. The hell with that shit, man. They have many ways to get you. So this is the first way they want to get you. They're like, yo, Mr. Turner. You say, got you. And then they say, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you do or say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Backwards. Because before you started reading me my rights, you should have told me that I had the right. Before you asked me, Mr. Turner, and I said, no, you don't greet nobody. You don't start reading me my rights after I identify myself. It's a trick. You go up to a person and right away you say, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say can be used against you in court of law. And they say, do you understand these rights? And then you say, you mess up and say, See, you messed up again. You messed up again. They just told you that you had the right to remain silent. And here you are saying yes. You just gave up your right to remain silent now. And then they said, do you understand your rights? You said yes. That just means that you just placed yourself under the Constitution. If the Constitution applied to you, then why do you have to understand it? Why do you have to make a verbal agreement that you understand it? If the Constitution is already above you and it's for you, you are under those policies or you're going to jail. Then why do you have to make a verbal agreement that you stand under that policy? Because you don't. That's why the Most High said that the truth shall set you free. So everybody's looking for Jesus. The truth shall set you free. The truth. How do you acquire truth? Through wisdom. This is a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But if they drag you in there, they start to get you to make all kind of oaths. If you do it, you really then the Most High left you right then and there. See, that's why I say there's two different ways. If you just go, if they summon you and you just show up, the Most High left. They still get you to try to make the oath. That's because if they snatch you and bring you in there, the Most High is still with you. But then if you make the oath part, then he leaves you. But if you do both, if you make them snatch you, I ain't going. And if they snatch you, and if they drag you in there, and they try to get you to make an oath, talking about I vow to this and I agree to this, if you don't do neither, then they start looking and trying to see, how can we throw the book at this person? What can we get in with? What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Because we really can't do much right now. So what can we do? They start calling up their friends. They start getting other people on the phone. They start getting higher ups on the phone in the back while you're sitting there waiting. How do we deal with them? They say, there's not much that we really can do, but see if he can withstand the test of time. Put him in a holding cell. Put him in a holding cell. That might break him. That usually breaks anybody. Tell him it's not against the law for you to tell him that he's going to be in here in what do you call that word? What is that word? You're going to be in here in like forever, I forget, like forever, if you don't cooperate or whatever. Tell him that. It's not against the law for you to at least tell him that. And if he believes you and don't know the law well enough to know that you're bluffing, then that's his fault. Tell him that he's going to be in here in whatever until he starts to cooperate. Hold him in there until the end of the day. Man, if you don't go along, they're going to let you go, bro. They're going to let you go. And that's why they start to come for anybody who teaches you law. Somebody like, he said it out of his own mouth. What's his name? Dr. Malachi Z. York. He said, they don't really mind you. They don't want you knowing these things. But if you know it and acquire the information, fine. But as soon as you start teaching it to others and holding classes, he said, then in writing books, he said, that's when they start to come for you, because you become an enemy of, not only an enemy of the state, you become an enemy of their organization that King Alexander set up. He said, so they start to come for you. That's when they start to trump up charges after you. That's when they're willing to break the rules of engagement. They're willing to break the rules of engagement. Universal law. They're willing to break universal law to try to get you. But they don't really have to. If you're willing to have a conversation with them, they're so slick that they're going to get you in that conversation. So you're wondering, how did they get Dr. Sebi? Well, it's because Dr. Sebi signed papers. Dr. Sebi wasn't that smart. Dr. Sebi knew about what to eat and what not to eat, and medicine, natural medicines. But Dr. Sebi didn't know not to sign documents and not to give. He didn't know. See, Dr. Sebi didn't realize how much of if he wasn't an agent, if he was real, then he didn't know how important it was for him to not sign a damn thing. And I mean nothing. This is an admission of guilt. This is just saying, I don't need you to tell me what it's saying. If it's words on the page, I can read it the same. As easy as it is for you to explain it to me, I can read it. You don't hand nobody no big ass pamphlet like this and tell somebody what it's just saying. Sign here. And then you do it with your dumb ass. This is not an admission of guilt. It's just saying this. And then you say, and right here, this is just saying, I'll read it and I'll see what it's saying for my own self. You don't have to sign it. You can simply say, I don't care what it says. I ain't signing it. So you're not going to, no. Well, I'll charge you with not signing it. Don't have to. You can't charge me with shit until I sign this. You're already trying to charge me for speeding. And you need me to sign this in order to proceed. So then how the hell are you going to threaten me that you're going to charge me with being disorderly? But you already can't charge me in the first place with the first. You can't charge me with the first thing in the first place without me co-signing it. Without me signing it. So then how are you going to charge me with a second thing without me signing that? Listen, man. You cut off all communications if you get confused, don't communicate with them at all. Silence. Just don't say nothing. They get to talking all this legalese. Hey, it's a whole nother conversation, man. I'll have this. We'll have this conversation though. We had this conversation many times, but they got rid of my channel. She was supposedly helping me get a job. All right, Con, bro, stay safe. Indefinitely. Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, that's the word. Oh, she was helping me get a job. Just be careful, man. Cleanse yourself, bro. Cleanse yourself. You went in that woman's house, man. I don't know her, but you said that she had pictures of Madonna, some black, whatever. Bro, this is what I would do if I was you. If I was in that lady's house, this is what I would do. I would put some water, rain, of course, in a container. And then I would wash my hands in the container, knowing that I'm cleansing. And then I'd wash my face like 3 or 4 times after going in that woman's house. Okay? And then I would light a incense to the Most High, your God, all around me. It's a fragrance scent that you're lighting to the Most High. It's an oblation offering. He loves that. Boom. Offer that to him. And then I would ask for cleansing. I went into this woman's home, Father. I would ask for cleansing. And then I would say hallelujah 7 times. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. And at the 7th time, I would say hallelujah. And I would take a deep breath with my eyes closed. And then I would see the water in my mind. I would see the rain coming down from the heavens and showering all wickedness off of me. Green, nasty, washing off of me. And then I would see myself in my mind walking on a straight, narrow path with many roads leading to the left and to the right, but see myself walking on a straight, narrow path with the sun in the distance, with mountains in the distance, or with a big temple in the distance. And then I would go from only seeing me to many with me. Hundreds of thousands of us all on that same exact path. Man, do that every day, man. That's good. That's good to do, bro. That's good, bro. The devils are scared of that. They scared of that type of talk, bro. Anyway, be safe, y'all. All right? Be easy. I'm out. Peace.